Scott McKain. Welcome back to another one of our on-demand radio broadcasts regarding creating distinction in sales and customer service. Thanks so much for taking time to listen to our podcast. I really appreciate it and hope we can provide some information in this series to help you create distinction, to stand out and move up regardless of your industry, regardless of the size of your organization, whatever you're doing. We hope we can help you create distinction in your sales and customer service. In the book, Create Distinction, What to Do When Great Isn't Good Enough to Grow Your Business, one of the things that I talk about are the 4 cornerstones of distinction, the 4 things that you need to be doing to make a big difference in your business. The second of the 4 cornerstones is creativity. But as I researched this, one of the fascinating things was I found out it wasn't exactly what I thought it was going to be. In other words, while I had a perception of creativity as being that think outside the box kind of thing, that we're going to get chaotic and creative, that we're going to throw away all the rules and really come up with something wild and different. And what I found is creativity is not that at all when it comes to creating distinction. The distinctive organizations, the distinctive professionals do one thing uniquely and creatively. In other words, they don't have to throw the baby out with the bathwater. They don't start all over and erase the chart. They find one simple thing that they can do that can make a difference for the people that they come in contact with, whether they're employees or internal customers or the external customers that they sell their products and services to. So we talk about in the book the ways that you become more creative. One of the challenges, I think, for many of us in business is we think we're not creative. You know, that's for the artists, that's for the songwriters and such, instead of folks like us involved in business. So in the book, I prescribe a 3-step process of what you need to do to become more creative. And I'd like to talk about step number 1 with you today. It's simply called drive it down. Your first step to rely upon to create more distinction and to fulfill this second cornerstone of creativity is to break down all of your customer interaction into the smallest units or the smallest steps possible. So you can begin doing that by asking this simple question. What is every single point of contact that the customer has with me or my organization? And make an extremely detailed list of every single point of contact that a customer has with you or that they have with your organization. I was doing a program a while back in Portland, Oregon, and they had a Q&A session after my presentation. And a member of the audience stood and asked the question and made the remark that her company had, as she put it, kind of forgotten that her product has to be installed. I asked her to help me out, give me more information about that. And she said, well, see, here's what we do. We sell business communication systems that include everything from the actual telephone handsets to the service for the telephone, wireless internet, television even. We've got many wonderful advantages. Our sales team works hard to communicate, yet we realized we'd never included the installers in the process. So in other words, they would create great customer experiences through the sales process and right up to the point that the installers came out. And then she said, we're getting frequent complaints that our technicians aren't creating positive experiences for our customers. Well, now she captured the essence of why it's so important to keep driving it down. That's step number 1, as we said, to be more creative, is to begin by driving it down. Many organizations are highly aware of the quality of the communication between the salesperson and the customer, but not nearly as many consider the impact of other representatives on the total customer experiences. So here's an important question. What happens when customers are in contact with you? Seriously, I mean, write it down. What happens when customers are in contact with you? It's time to be very specific about the process. If you are like many organizations or professionals, you probably aren't finding too much in the way of differentiation. So the fundamental question is, what happens? And until we break it down into very specific, just minute points, we're not going to be able to find those specific areas that we can improve upon and get creative on that's going to take us to a higher level of distinction. We're going to talk more about it, but your assignment, so to speak, before our next podcast is to make as detailed a list as you possibly can, as many fine points as you can possibly come up with, so that you can begin to drive it down so we can find specific points where we can get creative that's going to take us further in the process of creating distinction. This is Scott McKain for our on-demand radio broadcast, Create Distinction in Sales and Customer Service, hoping that you create distinction.